Good morning, YouTube. A-Parsh here again with another McLaren 600LT video. Today we're going to talk about the price sheet with the individual options available for the McLaren 600LT, how much they cost, and then maybe some opinions whether we think some of those options are worth buying. And we're also going to talk about the fact that some of those options are currently not available. Stay tuned. All right. Hey, YouTube, we're back here and we're going to talk about the 600LT, the pricing structure, and we're definitely going to talk about those Senna seats. I know everyone's probably thinking, what about those Senna seats? So we will be talking about the Senna seats as well, and I just wanted to bring up a couple other quick things. Number one, I've got a screen capture going right here with just YouTube and just a simple search term 600LT. You can see there are a lot of new videos that just went up yesterday. It looks like there was an event held in Hungary where a lot of really famous YouTubers were able to get some track time with the 600LT, and there was an embargo placed on that content being released that was just lifted yesterday, which is great. So check that out if you got a little bit of time. There's a lot of really good videos, really well done by these guys, and really motivating for people like me that just getting into this. And then speaking of just getting into this, if you are watching this video and thinking about maybe starting your own YouTube channel, I really recommend it. It's not as overwhelming as you might think. I mean, these videos I'm making do not take me a whole lot of time. And even today, I just decided, hey, I want to throw my webcam on here with a little logo thing. And that took me 5 minutes to figure out. And there's just tons of stuff on the internet about how to figure it all out. It's super easy. It's free. You could use OBS Studio and just look up the guides on OBS Studio. Anyway, let's talk about the McLaren 600LT, how much it costs, how much the options cost, and then maybe some opinions about whether you should, about whether I think you should buy some of those options. So let's load up the build sheet here. So here's the build sheet. I've got it zoomed in pretty well so that you should be able to see this on your YouTube screen. So starting at the top, I talked about this yesterday. If you didn't see my video yesterday, I talked about the fact that the 600LT is only going to be available for the 2019 model year. It will never be built again. There will not be a 2020 600LT, etc. So when you see at the top of this spreadsheet, it says My 19. That is 2019 model year. And then right here we've got the price list. I'm going to scroll this over so you can see what I'm looking at. Sorry, my webcam is blocking that. So MSRP for the vehicle with no options is $240,000. That excludes like delivery fee and things like that, but that's the base price of the vehicle. And now let's take a look at all these options. So they've got these options in different categories. So we're going to start with exterior. Silver paint is the only paint that does not cost anything extra. So I mentioned in my video yesterday that I am hoping to buy this vehicle, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to afford it. It's just going to depend on how my year ends here with work. So that being said, if I were to spec out this car, I would be thinking about it in this particular way. I would be thinking about it like, well, do I like the color silver? I happen to like the color silver. I currently own a silver Nissan GTR and I absolutely love it. But I also really like blue and green. And I probably would stay away from orange or yellows or purple. So anyway, let's look at the other colors and how much they cost. So when you go down to the special paint category, one category down, it costs just a little bit shy of $2,000 to get black, blue, orange, green, or white. None of those sound super interesting to me, just because it costs $2,000 more and I like silver. And I know that when you're talking about a $240,000 car, who cares about $2,000? But it still matters. I mean, it's not that much, but what I want to start getting into is when you go down into the next category, it goes 4,000 and quickly gets to 7,000, 8,000, $14,000, right? If you have a good wrapping company near you, which I do, a wrap job. I was quoted by a very, very high-end wrapping company here in San Diego, where I live, for my GTR, and it was $2,200. And they've wrapped tons of GTRs, and they wrap Lambos and Ferraris and all sort of. I actually work like 3 doors down from the guy that owns the business, and I see all the cars going in and out all the time. He gets amazing cars there, and he does really good work too. So $2,200 for a GTR, I'm sure he'd charge more for a McLaren. I would guess somewhere in the $4,000 price range if I had to guess. There's probably going to be people in the comments that will correct me. There's probably some people that get a really good deal because they have a friend or something like that, or there's people that have been ripped off because they roll in with a $200,000 car, and the guy's obviously going to try to charge you through the nose if he thinks he can get away with it. So anyway, there's a lot. I know that some of these paint jobs, there's going to be some other people probably saying like, you don't understand, these special paint jobs you can't even replicate that with a vinyl wrap. But that may be the case, but there's also a lot of vinyl wrap colors you can get that are very hard to replicate with paint. And you're adding an extra layer of protection over your paint for if you wanted to sell the vehicle, your paint underneath would look like it was brand new. So that's just an opinion of mine. I'm sure there's tons of people out there like, going to say, oh, vinyl's going to ruin your paint, or it's going to fall off, or they had a bad experience, blah, blah, blah. That's fine too. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, and my opinion is that if I were to buy this car, I'd probably just get it in silver, and if I wanted to change it later, I probably would wrap it. Okay, so packages. This is where things start to get interesting. We've got the MSO Club Sport Pack, and we have the MSO Club Sport Pro Pack. So let's just read what comes in these packages, right? So the MSO Club Sport Pack has the Senna super lightweight carbon fiber seats. Everyone that's been talking about the 600LT has been raving about the fact that you can get $1 million car seats in this $240,000 car. And if you're new to what I'm talking about and like, what do you mean $1 million? You might be getting confused. The McLaren Senna is a $1 million hypercar that came out earlier this year, and so these are the seats pulled straight from that vehicle. I personally don't I've never sat in either seats, but I've watched a lot of YouTube videos and read a lot about them, and I've read that the Senna seat is not particularly comfortable. So it's really for someone that wants this car almost like a dedicated track car. If you're thinking you're going to go to the track a couple times a year, and the rest of the time you're just going to be, I want to drive this car to work once a week or drive it once a month, whatever it is, take it on cruises, go on rallies. It might not be the best money spent unless you're just really into showing off. So, and no offense if you are, that's fine to be a show off. I mean, I probably said that the wrong way, but don't be offended. Like if you're like, I'm spending $250,000 on this car, I want those baller seats, that's fine. I personally am not a big fan of them, but okay. So continuing with the MSO Club. So you got the Senna seats with that, right? You get the carbon fiber interior upgrade. You get it says MOS, but I think that's a typo. MSO defined gloss carbon fiber roof and cantrails. MSO defined gloss visual carbon fiber front fender lavers and titanium wheel bolts. Oh my God, those titanium wheel bolts. Sorry for being sarcastic. But anyway, this is about $30,000, right? So you get the expensive seats and you get a bunch of carbon fiber. I love carbon fiber more than, just as much as most of you other car guys, but for 30 grand, no, I wouldn't do this. So that's just me again, right? So no offense to you guys that are planning on getting that. So I just don't, if I had millions of dollars and this was just another one of my supercars, then yeah, I probably would be doing that. But since this is more for me, like, maybe I could just barely afford it, I can't spend another 30 grand on all that stuff. Okay, so the next option is the Pro Pack. So what are we adding? We are adding the harness bar and 6-point racing harness for about $5,000. So yeah, I mean, if you're going to the track all the time, if this is like your dedicated track car, that's probably that's definitely worth the $5,000 because it's gonna be done the right way. Now, the bigger thing to talk about, who cares about, the packages and what's in them, because you can't have them right now. I don't know if you see this over here, but it says unavailable right here, unavailable. And then it says over here, unavailable until further notice, unavailable until further notice. That's because the Senna seats are unavailable. So this whole package, these packages are not available because the Senna seats are not available. I think most people don't know about that right now. I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos. Yesterday, my video was about how many are going to be built. And I was really surprised. I did see another YouTuber who actually had very similar information as me. And I felt really, he was in Hungary with McLaren. And he was saying the same things that I just put on my YouTube video that I got from McLaren. He said it in a different way, but he kind of reinforced that. So I felt good about the video I presented to you guys yesterday. But this is the new thing. Senna seats are not available. You cannot go buy any 600LT with Senna seats right now. I did talk to the dealer. He said that they may become available again, possibly. But they may not be. So there's only going to be 1,500 of these built, right? Who knows? They could be sold out tomorrow. They could be sold out right now for all I know. I talked to the guy last week and they weren't. But if they're sold out, you're SOL. There's no more, and that would mean there would be no more Senna seats ever for this car. You just have to try to find a used one. I don't think that we're even close to sold out because he mentioned that there will probably be a few going to showrooms at dealerships. But anyway, no Senna seats for you. Let's move on. Exterior. This stuff maybe is just getting a little bit more boring, but so glass carbon fiber wheel arches are about $2,300. Dark palladium painted roof and cantrails, $2,600. Lightweight carbon fiber plenum cover. That's actually pretty cool. That's $700, and so that's something for anyone that doesn't know what a plenum is. That is basically like your intake manifold, if you want to call it that. I'm sure that it could be different, but oops, sorry, I got an email thing popped up there. So carbon fiber plenum, that's going to be when you look through the window, which, let's see, on this vehicle, actually, I don't think there is a window. You know what? If you guys know in the comments that if you have any details about that, I'm actually a little bit confused now because with the way the exhaust fits on the rear deck lid, I don't know if there is a window to see into the motor. Let's solve this right now. 600LT trunk lid, deck lid, rear deck lid. So, okay. I think I understand it now. This piece right here, let's see if I can get a better zoomed in picture. No, I can't. Well, I'll do my best. This piece right here that I'm circling, I think that is the $710 plenum cover. So I don't know if I thought that would be a cool deal because if you think about like a Lambo or a Ferrari with the motor in the back and they usually have a window over it, yeah, I would want to show off my plenum cover in that particular case, but that's just a little square thing. It's not that cool. It's still only $700 though, so maybe I'd still do it. Okay, model designation delete. That just is going to take off the 600LT stickers and stuff on the side skirts and or wherever else in the car. So that's free if you want to do that. I would probably keep mine because you could always take them off later. Stealth exhaust finishers. Those are also free. I don't know exactly what that is, but I think that's just the black coating around the exhaust, so like right here. And yeah, I probably would want that. Soft closed doors. So that's pretty self-explanatory. I think I probably would want that. Oh, so sorry. Stealth exhaust finishers as opposed to gloss black exhaust finishers. So you have to pay if you want the gloss black. I think these right here would be the stealth type because it's not glossy. I would prefer the stealth. It's only $500 basically to do the gloss, but I think the stealth looks better. Soft closed doors, I would probably consider that for $700. And then there's the carbon fiber exterior upgrade. So that gives you doors, mirrors, and extended side intakes for about $4,000. I probably would pass on that too. I know I think most people that can afford this car probably have been in supercar world for a long time and they probably have more money than I would. as I mentioned, because I don't even know if I could buy this. So they're probably going to be like carbon fiber everything. I wish I was in that situation, but I have to be a little bit cheaper if I were able to afford this vehicle. So I'm trying to be realistic here. I probably wouldn't get the upgrade, any of these carbon fiber upgrade packs. So there's a exterior pack 2. You have to buy the upgrade pack 1, which is $4,000, to be able to buy the option pack 2, which is $7,000. So you're at $11,000 for that, and that includes front splitter, side skirts with aero winglets, rear bumper with integrated rear diffuser, rear bumper aero fins, and low. Now here's something I'm a little confused about. I watched the YouTube videos where they talked about the weight savings. The rear bumper, to me, seemed like it was carbon fiber no matter what. I'm not sure if this is more of a exposing some of that carbon fiber, like not painting the little side winglets. I'm gonna tell you what I'm talking about here. Let's go back to some pictures so I can show you what pictures will always explain. So this little carbon fiber, I think that's called a winglet or something like that. So this whole bumper is one piece, and you can see this is all carbon fiber, and this is painted right here. But leaving this carbon fiber piece unpainted may be what they're talking about with some of this stuff. But I believe the whole rear bumper is carbon fiber, whether you pay for a carbon fiber kit or not. Again, correct me in the comments if you guys know about that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's plastic if you don't get carbon fiber. Okay, so let's move on to the next pack. So this next pack, you have to have bought the first 2. So the first 2 are 11. This one's 12. So now we're looking at $23,000 for all 3 carbon fiber packs, and this one includes exterior door inserts, fixed rear wing, rear deck, and service cover. That seems like not a lot for $12,000, but I guess the wing, you're probably mostly paying for the wing. Okay, so, and I guess the deck lid, but next thing we've got gloss carbon fiber roof and cantrails. If you want to spend another $13,000, you can get a carbon fiber roof. And then there's like the next thing is satin finish to exterior carbon fiber option. So if you want to, I guess if you have, let's say you bought $23,000 of carbon from pack 1, 2, and 3, and then you also did the roof for another 13, so you'd be at let's see, those at 36,000. If you wanted to make it all satin, you could add another 8, so about 41. And then the next thing is front fenders and gloss finish, carbon fiber livered front fenders and gloss finish, another $12,000. And then the next option is, so $30,000 for this pack right here, roof scoop. This is the roof scoop. Okay, this is a big deal. The roof scoop is a big deal because, well, have you guys seen the pictures? I'll pull up the picture for you. McLaren 600LT roof scoop. This is why it's $30,000, because everyone wants it. Yeah, that's hot. Look at that. That is amazing. I really like that a lot. I would love to do that on what if I were able to purchase this vehicle and afford it. I would love to be able to also afford this $30,000 roof scoop, which is a carbon fiber roof scoop. But it requires you to spend more money on top of the $30,000. So must be ordered in combination with MSO defined carbon fiber roof and cantrails, McLaren track telemetry with 3 cameras and full Alcantara. So I think what this is saying is the MSO defined carbon fiber roof was up here, and that's $13,000. And then the cantrails were anyway. You have to, so $30,000 plus 13 plus something else. You know, you're probably talking about like a $50,000 minimum option, maybe more. I don't want this video to go on forever, so I'll speed up a little bit here. But I think so far, even though I've spent a lot of time on all of these things, I'm hoping if you're still with me here, I'm hoping this is helpful, because sometimes it's easier to kind of talk things out with people to understand all this stuff, right? Okay, so we're moving on to the wheels and brakes. For no additional cost, you get 10-spoke ultralight forged alloy wheels and silver finish. That'd probably be fine with me, because I could powder coat them later if I wanted to change the color. if I were going to keep the car silver, I wouldn't want silver on silver. I would probably want the wheels to be black. So the gloss black, if I planned on keeping the silver, the gloss black finish for another $1,400 would probably be worth it. So I would probably consider doing that, just having it from the factory. But if I was kind of on the fence about wrapping the car, like maybe I really wanted to do like a really cool teal blue. I don't know if you guys have seen Jordan Marin's Ford GT, and I forgot what color he calls it, but it's an amazing, like kind of a light teal baby blue mixed color. I absolutely love that color, and that would be a really good wrap color for this car in my opinion. So if I were going to do that, I may consider keeping the silver wheels, but I think that would probably mesh fine with black wheels too. So anyway, let's move on. So there's diamond cut finish. I don't even really know what that means. There's a satin raw metal finish. Again, kind of not totally sure on that. In my opinion, none of that stuff's that important to me. So if it's important to you, sorry, maybe you want to look it up yourself. But more importantly is they offer a different type of wheel as another option, a 5-spoke instead of a 10-spoke. Well, that's a little bit important. Let's see if we can grab a picture of that. Oh, I think they're right here. Yeah, see, this must be them right here. This McLaren 600LT is, that's a 570S. I was going to say it was extremely optioned out, and that's not right. So McLaren 600LT 5-spoke. Let's see if we can find it. Well, it looks like everything has the 10-spoke on these pictures, unless this is, I think that's a 570S, yeah. Well, let's move on. I don't want to spend, all your guys' time too, just looking for a 5-spoke wheel. I will just check Google real quick though. I don't see anything straightforward. So anyway, all the pictures that we've seen so far show the 10-spoke. I think the 10-spokes look great, so I wouldn't change them out. The 5-spoke starts at about $5,000 extra for anyone that's interested. Okay, so wheel bolts and silver finish and titanium finish and all this stuff. I probably wouldn't spend any money on bolts, just because, it wouldn't bother me. Whatever bolts they put on there would be fine as long as they hold the wheels on. Special painted brake calipers. That is pretty cool for a lot of people who want to customize their car, especially they're going crazy with really crazy colors. I'm not sure let's see. Oh, standard black painted. Okay, so the calipers are black, standard from the factory. That'd be fine with me. If I was going for a really cool color combo thing, I probably would consider getting them painted. It's only $1,100 is pretty reasonable. So yeah, if you want like black wheels with red calipers, total would be about $2,300, $2,400, whatever it worked out to. And then there's a bespoke alternative color brake caliper package, with no warranty. Okay. So that's $6,500 to use a special paint color on your calipers, but they will not warranty it. That's interesting. And then they have two different tire options, Corsa tires and Trofeo R. I know everyone is going bonkers over the Trofeo Rs, and they're the same price, so I'm guessing everyone would want those. I would have to do some research, but you would usually assume the crazier the tire is, usually the faster it wears out, and they're probably really geared at track time. So if you're like the type of person that really loves this car, but you're thinking you're not really going to take it to the track, maybe the Corsas are going to be a better option for you. And I could just be wrong because I don't know very much about either tire. If they were Michelins, I probably would know what to say. But me personally, I know it's blasphemy not to take this car to the track. I love it almost. I really love this car because of the exhaust system. I mean, I'm sure a lot of other people are the same way. Like, okay, it's got a 918 style exhaust and it's crazy fast. And I will definitely start going to the track if I were able to afford this car. So there's that too. Okay, let's talk about the interior. Comes with full Alcantara interior, which is what I would do. They charge you another $2,300 for leather, which I also believe would add some weight to the car for anyone that cares. There's a special Alcantara interior. I don't know anything about it. And then there's the special leather interior. It's by McLaren design. I don't know anything about what that all is, but there's a luxury package where you get power seats. This is kind of funny. Yeah, it's a $240,000 car and it doesn't come with electric seats. But the luxury package is about $7,000. That includes the power, heated seats, electric steering column, and the Bowers & Wilkins upgraded sound system with the soft closed doors. That's a pretty good option for those of you that are kind of like me and would want to be able to drive it on a regular day just to go to work. So I would consider buying that package right there. But I also know that these options are able to be broken apart or broken out into different costs, and we'll probably look at that here in a second. Okay, so covered storage bins. I think this is just saying that there's some storage bins behind the seats or whatever, and that you can have the option to just have those bins illuminated. I probably would want to keep them. Carbon fiber racing seats in regular or touring. So I'm guessing one of them is, well, I actually shouldn't guess, but yeah, they're probably, it could be that one's for a bigger person than the other. Some of them might be for like a really skinny person to hold a skinny person, and one might be for holding a bigger guy like me. Or it might just be that they're two different styles completely. That's probably something we would have to check with the dealership about. Okay, and now look at this. We're back to the Senna carbon fiber seats. So these are $6,000, and as I mentioned earlier, I don't think that's something I would want to do, just because if I wanted to drive it on a regular basis, just going to work, like I said, getting in and out is more difficult, and they're not very comfortable is what I've heard. They're amazing for the track though. So if you're like, this is your track car, I think that $6,000 is well worth it. But you can't have them anyway because they're unavailable until further notice. Power adjustable heated and memory seats is $3,000. And then the steering column is $1,600. And so these were both in that luxury package, as a reminder. There's a leather door finishers, carbon fiber door sill with McLaren branding, $2,200. Sorry, I'm just rushing through this stuff because I don't think it's super important. Alcantara headlining, that's pretty cool for $700. I would definitely consider doing that. I don't know what standard, but I like that. Black leather steering wheel. I would probably stick with the Alcantara steering wheel that comes with it, which is right here for $0. Carbon fiber interior components for $3,000. Switch packs around, steering wheel, bespokes, and extended shift paddles. I probably wouldn't do that. Carbon fiber interior upgrade for another. I mean, you can spend about $1,000 on this car at upgrades of carbon fiber alone. I think it's a very smart business concept, or whatever you want to call it, from McLaren. The way that they add all these extra carbon fiber features for people that have the money, I think they probably make a lot of extra profit off of it, and the people that can afford it are glad to pay that money. Air conditioning. I will definitely put air conditioning in my car for $0. Because like I said, I would like to drive it to work. And I live in, well, San Diego is not too hot, but I would still love to have it. Okay, so there's seat belts. These are McLaren orange, yellow, or red. I really love the McLaren seatbelt of the color. I think they're awesome. I don't know if you guys watch Street Speed 717, but I've seen him recently. I think he was driving that 720S that he ended up buying, and I think that had like the orange seatbelts. And I think the orange seatbelts are just like the right way to go. That's just my opinion, because orange is kind of like a McLaren trademark color. Anyway, so moving on. Defined ignition key. I do not know what that sounds kind of fun. I'm assuming this is a cooler looking key than what you would get from the factory, and I would consider getting that for $500, especially since that's how much keys usually cost anyway. All right, so harness bar is unavailable, and the racing harness is unavailable. So if you wanted to buy, the McLaren seats for $6,000, and because you're going to make this a track car, but maybe you want the track car stuff, but you don't want to spend any money on carbon fiber. So the seat's $6,000, and the harness bar is $6,000, so that's $12,000, and the harness itself is $1,500. So, about 14 grand. But it's all gone. You can't get it. So let's move on. Safety and equipment. Four speaker audio system with navigation and Bluetooth is $0. That's cool. And then you can upgrade to the Bowers & Wilkins 12 speaker system. I love having a good sound system. I'd mentioned I have a GTR. I also have a Raptor, and my sound system, my GTR, is not that great. A lot of people complain about the Bose system. And I even have some upgrades on my system, and it's still not very good. And I just picked up my Raptor less than a year ago, and it came with the I forgot the name of it. And actually, is it Bauer and Wilkins? It's some really high end brand of speaker system that it came with because I got a package that included it, and they sound so good. It's so nice to try to get pumped up for work a little bit and listen to like a really like high high energy song with like really good bass and just the sounding so good. So if I got this car, I would definitely get the sound system. No matter what, I would have to get that 12 speaker Bowers and Wilkins sound system. And Bowers and Wilkins is a really good brand. So I would think it would sound amazing. So let's talk about that again, because this comes in the luxury package. The luxury package is about $7,000. So this is $4,300 basically. And then the luxury package gives you the power heated seats, which they charge. Let's see, where was that? Sorry for the delay here. Heated seats of $3,000. So if you wanted just the power seats and the sound system, you're already at the whole price of the luxury package, and then you'd be getting the steering column and the soft closed doors. It's a pretty good deal. I would probably get that. I would just end up getting the luxury pack. So, and then moving on. Track telemetry with lap function time. So this is some track stuff. So you can, technology to let you know how well you're doing on the track. This is included in the car, but there's an upgraded version with a 3-camera system for $1,600. This beckons back to the very, very top. Wait, did I say that right? I think I did. Oh wait, it was the roof scoop. The roof scoop requires you to get the telemetry 3-camera system. So that's $1,600. If you want the roof scoop, you have to get this 3-camera system for $1,600. So at least it's not crazy expensive. Vehicle lifting system is $1,500. That would be something I would consider doing, because if I were to daily drive this and I'm going in and out of driveways and speed bumps and things like that, I would not want to jack up the whole front bumper, because I'm guessing the front bumper probably is $10,000 to replace. All right, car cover, $500. Battery tender, $200. There was a video I watched last night from JR Garage, and they just bought an MP4. What is it? 12C, I think that's what it's called. And they said that the lithium-ion battery that McLaren puts in their cars costs $3,000. It's not a regular battery that you would get in most cars. It's lithium-ion. So that's more like the type of battery that's in your cell phone. So it's a gigantic cell phone battery, or kind of almost like what you would think what would be in a Tesla. So you might want to get that battery tender, or just get your own for not $200. So just mention that. Ashtray, hell no. Why would I get an ashtray in a 600LT? Fire extinguisher for $180. I would probably consider that, just because of the cool factor. Warning triangle and first aid kit for $80. I actually would probably get that too, just to have the cool versions of that stuff. So, because it probably, hopefully has McLaren branding on it. That's it. It's $2,500 for the sea freight. And if you wanted to send it by plane, it's $10,000. So I work in the computer industry, and we do ship stuff overseas, back and forth to Asia and Europe. And being that I'm on the West Coast, and McLaren's in England, UK, whatever you want to say, it'd probably be for sea freight. I think it's usually about two weeks, I want to say, for if it like left right away from UK and came straight over to East Coast. So that would be pretty normal for that to happen. It would probably go over to like New York or New Jersey. And then that would, from there, there's a variety of different ways it would get to the West Coast for me. That would include rail, would be one option, and that takes probably about a week or so. Or it could go just by truck, the big, big rigs that you see on the freeway with a bunch of cars on them. I'm sure McLaren, if McLaren does that, they probably have car covers on them so they stay clean. But so anyway, what I'm getting at, sea freight's probably about a month, 3 to 4 weeks time, and on top of the build time. And then the air freight's super fast. So when we send something to UK or Asia by air freight, it's like a couple days. It's like 3 or 4 days. Customs is sometimes the only thing that holds it up. So if you're like really, if you spent $350,000 on your 600 LT with every carbon fiber option and all that stuff, the $10,000 to get your car today, basically today, might be worth it to you. So I'm just gonna do a quick recap. I know this is a really long video, but I'm just gonna tell you again what I would probably buy for myself. And why don't you guys tell me how you would do it? But if I could afford the vehicle, I would get just the silver paint. I would get the black wheels. Let's see, where was that? I guess I should go in order. I would get the stealth exhaust finishers. I would get the soft closed doors in the luxury package, so we'll not add that here. And then let's see, there was the black finish wheels. I would get those. The regular interior. I would keep the storage bins. I would probably go with the regular racing seat, and whichever one is bigger, since I'm a bigger guy. And then I would get the luxury package, wherever that was. Oh, that was like right over, right up here. So anyway, total, I mean, the wheels are $1,100 or something like that. The luxury package is $6,800. And then I think the only other things would be like the fire extinguisher and warning triangles for another couple $100. Oh, and the lift system. So I'm probably at around $10,000 in options, which isn't too bad. So $240 base price plus 10, $250 plus the freight, 20. So you're a little bit over 250 grand is probably what I'd be looking at. I just want to say this one more time. I've said it 20 times in this video. This is like a dream of mine. It's a goal. Goals have always worked really well for me. I never thought I'd be able to own a Nissan GTR. And so if you obtain a goal that you never thought you could reach, you can't just become complacent and say like, yeah, I did it. I'm here. You need to make another goal. When I made the goal of getting a GTR, I thought that would literally never happen in my entire life. And it was like a pipe dream. And it happened. So you have to set another goal that's just as crazy. Or, so a 600 LT sounds like a crazy goal, but I think it's doable. And especially if I'm able to tie it into business related stuff too. So anyway, long video. If you've stayed this long, thank you. If you like the information, please like and subscribe. I am planning to continue to bring more videos. I have like a whole schedule of things I want to talk about for videos regarding the 600 LT, and then I have a lot of other things that I want to do videos about as well. So if you like this video, like, subscribe, tell your friends, share it. I have an Instagram as well and a Twitter, so you can find me on there. It's just @parsh and then an underscore, and that's about it. I'm going to sign off here. Thanks, guys.